Welcome. I will introduce Ada, my AI assistant.
It is an honor to help Dr. Dadkamp.
Ada, how much butt shall we kick today?
Today we shall kick 1 metric ton of glorious, spackling, universe-quaking butt.
Outstanding. Activate intro sequence.
Let's do it, boss.
Great. Set the course and punch it.
Initiating warp sequence.
Let's make it happen.
I'm right on it, Dr. Dadkamp.
Welcome. Planner, week of February 1st, 1999. Parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. Note to buy Javier a card. The Toyota got a windshield chip. 7:30 p.m., Melissa and 2 friends showed up uninvited. Tuesday, February 2nd. Parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. Took NTEX. Sent Javier wedding card with Dad's money gift. Fix windshield chip. Melissa called. 5 p.m. Called Kate, left message for her to call back. Wednesday, February 3rd. Parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. Bought Commandos for PC, a video game at Kmart, $45, and work out at the gym. Thursday, February 4th. Parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. Buy fuel filter for the car. Call Melissa. Get stuff. Friday, February 5th. Auto Glass will call. Claim number. Parked in the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. 5 p.m. dinner at Rosemarie's. 9 p.m. comedy club with Kate. Saturday, February 6th. Javier's wedding. Tape soccer USA Germany. 1 to 3 p.m. ABC. Techie or Techie party for Greg. 4 p.m. Kevin at Autoglass, 12 p.m. Sunday, February 7th. Play, quote, they made up their mind and then started laughing. 3:30, arrived at Dad's from Mom's, Rosemarie, Eric, Jake, and I. Sunday, February 7th, Melissa came over night. Monday, February 1st. Email to siblings. Subject: Cuando el pollo no cocina, hay que enseñarle. Hey pollos, how were the exams? Hope you had good post-exam Super Bowl parties. Bill, thanks for the car advice. Now that I have more time and I'm getting my life in order, I can work on it. Dad said he would drive to town only for Sunday if you're going to be here the weekend. Techie invited us to a bring your own food Saturday, February 6th at hour and a half away, before Greg leaves to Okinawa for 2 years. They could bring me down on Saturday since they have to give Greg a ride to the airport. Maybe I'll hitch a ride with Jackie on Friday. Anyone going? Later, Mark. Monday, February 1st. Email from Libsib.
Subject: Hi boys. Hi kids. Today I went to talk to the director of religious education at Joanna's church about getting confirmed. I have to get my baptismal certificate from Lima. I may have a copy of it. If not, I'll ask Mom and Dad, but if they don't, I'll have to get one from the Cathedral of Lima. Anyone know their address or phone number by any chance? I also talked to this woman about my previous marriage and whether I have to get an annulment. She said that because I wasn't married in the Catholic Church, I wouldn't need a formal annulment, but some paperwork would be required. The good news is they would not have to contact my ex to ask her questions. Okay, talk later. Lou.
Monday, February 1st. Email to Mary Beth. Ordering items for the lab. Mary Beth, please P-card the following items. IMDM and RPMI medium. Thanks, Mark. Monday, February 1st. Email from Joe.
What up, guys? Lou, what's the hurry with the annulment? That's one thing I never did. Get confirmed. If you find out about it, a quick class. Let me know. B, happy stock trades. Hope your stuff is going up. I called Fidelity, and they will send the papers for Dad. Mano, thanks for calling. Later. Joe.
Tuesday, February 2nd, email to Mary Beth, ordering items for lab. Mary Beth, please order the paraformaldehyde from Fluka instead of Sigma since Sigma will take too long. I'm including the original Sigma order message for your reference. Thanks. Tuesday, February 2nd, email to Joe, subject, chip on window. Duke, I got a chip on the Toyota, so I'll have them fix it just like the last time. It was on the interstate Monday morning. Some jerk hauled past me and then swerved onto the shoulder where there was a lot of sand, salt, and pebbles. Dirt flung everywhere and a pebble chipped my windshield. Okay, I'll let you know what happens with Kate. We need a nickname for her. Mark. Tuesday, February 2nd, email to Bill. Subject, testing web counter. P.S. The Toyota had very low transmission fluid, so I bought and added some. The dipstick is gunky, which worries me. I also found the Chevron additive. There were two kinds, $1 more for an added cleans fuel valves too feature, which I went for. I am on a full tank, so I won't use it until I'm between empty and half, preferably empty. Also, I sent a card to Mr. and Mrs. Javier today with Dad's money gift. Did you get an invitation? Her name is Jessica, by the way. Tuesday, February 2nd, email from Bill.
Hey Mark. No, didn't click on the webpage on Monday, maybe a couple weeks ago, looking for Calvin and H stuff. How many counts did you get? Good luck with the car. Just a reminder, auto trans fluid needs to be checked while the engine is warm and running in park. I'm less encouraged about going to town. This weekend would be for only 24 hours or so. But if not, the following weekend definitely. Bill.
Tuesday, February 2nd, email from Joe.
Subject, chip on window. Shit, that a bummer. I guess you can fix it like last time, which was pretty quick. Just tell them what happened. What is up with sorority chick? Did you guys end up going out? Friend said that the Roxbury skit was excellent. I brought a copy of it. What's up with T2? All right, man. Catch you later. Joe.
Wednesday, February 3rd, email from Libsib.
Subject, news. Hey muchachos. ¿Qué pasa? The main reason I'm getting confirmed is that Rosemary and Eric have asked me to be the godfather of their next child. I have to be active in the church, i.e. registered with a local Catholic diocese, and it helps, but is not mandatory, to get confirmed. Joanna and I are still getting along well, and living together has been good. No immediate plans for marriage, etc. We can't go to Techies this weekend for the Greg party. We have a show to see, called The Gin Game, a play. Last week we saw Footloose, a musical based on the movie, which was okay, and the week before we saw Bring Into Noise, Bring Into Funk, which was excellent. Next week I'm having a tree removal service cut down and remove the stumps of the 3 big trees around the house. The plumbers said the tree roots are what have caused the sewer to back up repeatedly. They ran a video camera like a colonoscope into our pipes and showed us the roots. Pretty impressive. I had estimates from over a dozen tree plays, ranging from $1,100 to $4,500 to do the job. Guess which one we picked? Joe, how's psych? Easy, huh? Give me your mailing address and phone number again. I wrote it down the last time you emailed me, but misplaced that paper. Bill, what's new in town? Snip work rumors. Okay, kids, keep in touch. Lou.
Wednesday, February 3rd, email from Bill.
Hey guys. Lou, Jess, work stuff. Did you say practicing Castle Talk with the local praised about this one. Town, is okay. Todos deben abrir sus cuentas Vibonos y sonreír hacia la caja de depósitos. Mutual Fans están bien para cierto porcentaje del todo, pero definitivamente el mercado sonríe al que la aprovecha. La informática de hoy facilita muchas cosas. Yo tal vez me vaya a Costa Rica el próximo mes, tal vez al Perú en abril o mayo. Cuídense. Bill.
Wednesday, February 3rd, email to Joe, subject, messages mail. Duke, you got a message from blank, then you got a letter from blank, lastly a letter from blank. I may scan this letter and send as attachment. Let's see if it works. I hear Saving Private Ryan is reopening in theaters this Friday. Might see it with Lou and Joe or I might go with Kate. Later, Mark. Thursday, February 4th. Email from Kate.
From Kate. Subject, read, print, and execute, forward. You are asking me how I got through all these years of school? Well, that is a long time to ponder over. Specifics are going to be hard, especially in the younger days of my youth. When I was younger, my goal in life was to become a vet just like half the other kids in the first grade class. Then I learned that that would involve having to help the animals by having to sometimes put the animals to sleep. I thought vets were supposed to make things better and that was it. Boy, did I realize life was a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. There was a lot that I would have to learn. As the years moved on, I began to hear my parents talk about a place called college where you had to go to school for even more years. My little 4th grade mind couldn't think of doing that because math class was boring and hard enough as it was. Why would anyone want to go trough even more of that boring stuff? 6th grade came along, and I volunteered with my Catholic CCD school at a homeless shelter in a shady part of town. There were so many people that came there that were hungry, depressed, and tired. Old people, kids, and families all came here. I was so shocked about the number of people that I couldn't believe it. I guess it was notable in my face about the reaction I had. I remember talking to my group's leader who was a mom of one of the kids in my group. She noticed me looking disturbed by all this. She explained to me that many of these people were good and hardworking people and that many of them had good jobs before but had a down and out at one point. Many of them were trying to put their lives back together and had a hard time because they had a lot of shame, although many of them shouldn't feel ashamed because they had worked hard and had a bad streak of luck. I remember her saying that many of these people had to face that but would never give up and kept trying, and that I should never let something get me down. She told me that I should always try to get out there and take advantage of all that you can right now because you never know what life will throw to you. Every time I think of our conversation, I realize that she was right. If I am ever in my down, I look for the opportunity to bring me out of it even if that means that I have to look towards a most unusual solution. Some people still wonder about the way I think today, some think I'm odd, but it's my oddness that keeps me sane and apart from the rest. It keeps me going. I think one of the hardest choices I faced for my education in recent years was trying to get into colleges. I got into all that I applied to, but blank was the one I wanted to go to the most. Within about 2 weeks of sending out my applications, I received answers of acceptances from all my school except for my top choice. I was really upset by this and couldn't understand why. One of the schools that I applied to and got in right away was one that was of a higher ranking. Finally, about a month later I received a postcard in the mail saying that I needed to take another SAT test because they said they needed another one to compare it to. I had only taken the test once. I was terrified. It hit me the most at that point that I might not be able to succeed in something I so greatly wanted. To top it off, when I took my second SAT for the admissions to get into my top choice college, I had an extremely bad case of the flu and dropped 200 points from my original score. I felt then that I would never make it to my top choice. My parents kept telling me that I always could go to the other schools or community college for a few years and then try to apply again. I was stubborn though, I didn't want to go anywhere else at that point. I still handed in my SAT scores, hoping for a miracle which seemed so distant. About a month had gone by without a peep from them. Other application deadlines to accept were closing in on me, but I didn't budge. I was still waiting to hear from them. Finally I got a letter in the mail saying that I was not accepted into the regular program, but that I could attend a certain program that they offered which would possibly extend me a spot for the fall if I passed the courses that summer. Even though I got accepted into the STEP program, I felt like I had failed. I had to go to the regular program, but I kept it a secret from my friends about the fact that I might have to go to summer school for fear I would look dumb otherwise. I ended up telling people finally, but only my closest friends. I accepted the invitation of their STEP program and hauled out to the Dumb Kids program. During my program, though, my attitude changed drastically. The people and other kids I was there with were in the same situation. They wanted badly to get in, but now had to make the extra effort to get there. We all worked hard through the summer together and finally came the determining point, our report cards. I passed. I was so happy. I realized then what I learned earlier. You hold your pride and face some hard times, but never give up because if you work hard, you will get there eventually even if it is by a different route.
Thursday, February 4th. Email to Joe. Subject, forward, item defective or damaged. Duke. Anyway, yesterday I spoke with Kate and we might go out Friday. She suggested a comedy club. Seems we have a lot of common interests. Her grandfather was in World War II in Normandy, that's neat. Her dad was in Nam, and he doesn't like to talk about it much. I told her that Dad works at blank VA and that he knows a lot about the vets. Blah blah. Later, Mark. Friday, February 5th. Email from Bill. Hey guys, I won't be able to make it to town this weekend, but I plan to be there next weekend. Have a good one, Bill. Friday, February 5th. Email to siblings. Boys with a Z. I'm going to ride with Gat, Eric, and Jake to Greg's farewell party on Saturday. Then we'll stay at Mom's overnight and return Sunday. Bill, don't forget to take your Christmas gifts and projector next weekend. See y'all, Mark. Friday, February 5th, email from Joe.
Short for hombre. If interested, tomorrow, Saturday 1 p.m. on ABC, is USA versus Germany. If you get this at all on Friday, but I think you're going to relatives, I'll check it out here and probably tape it. At Sam's Club, they have now a phone ARD for 10 CA minute. The smallest card is for 160 minutes, $16. It is better than that 101, 081 when you guys do, no taxes and no line connection. I bought one for myself. You could buy one in town with one of those coupon/passes from that calendar. Or I could buy one for you guys, but you wouldn't get it till next month. I think you should buy one over there, call first, and make sure they have it. You can't beat that. Have fun at relatives. Joe.
Sunday, February 7th, email from Libsib.
Subject, Mom's B-Day. Boys, we should take Mom out to dinner. I was thinking of blank in town. They have great steaks and lobster, which Mom loves, and I think she's not allergic to lobster. In any event, Bill let me know if you were in town this weekend. We could do it then, let's say Sat the 13th. The 14th I'm working, and then I'm taking Joanna out to dinner V-Day. If this weekend is not good, we could do it on her birthday, the 20th. But she may have other plans with Bob that day. Let's coordinate this now to make plans. Lou.
Planner, week of Monday, February 8th, 1999. Monday, parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. Melissa going home. Played Commandos, 4:30 to 7:15. Tuesday, parked on the street, same work hours. Gym workout. Melissa called from home. Played Commandos, 7:15 to 9 p.m. Wednesday, February 10th, parked on the street, worked 9 to 4:30, played Commandos 4:30 to 6:20. Thursday, February 11th, parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4. In the evening, watched She's All That movie with Kate. Friday, February 12th, parked on the street, worked 9 to 8:30. Fix windshield. Workout 4 to 5:30. Played Commandos 8:30 to 9:45 p.m. Saturday, February 13th. Bill going to somewhere. Took pictures. 4 p.m. dinner at Rosemary's. Lou, Joanna, Bill, Dad, and I. Sunday, February 14th. 5:30 B left. Monday, February 8th, 1999. Email from Bill.
Subject. Hey guys, I was planning on going to town this weekend, 13th to 14th. In addition, I thought we'd visit Mom on her birthday and go out for dinner. She sounded like she thought that was the case when I talked with her yesterday. I hope to see all of you then. Bill.
Monday, February 8th. Email to siblings. Hey Gonzos, Rosemary, Eric, and I thought we'd go to Mom's the 20th, but then Rosemary told me since Bill is coming over the 13th, we should all meet in town. This sounds good. We can go to dinner Saturday Eve. I replaced the fuel filter and now the car has more power. I also used the Chevron fuel injector cleaner. I'll see how it holds up now. Weekend was good. Greg must be in Okinawa by now. Joaquin called me yesterday, said to give everyone his warmest regards and said he'd call Joe. I gave him your number, blank. But in case he didn't talk to you, said to say hi. He's coming to town for almost a week at the end of March, and he's hoping to see everyone. He'd also like to check out the business school. I also spoke to Javicho the day after his wedding. He's going on a cruise to the West Indies, some islands, with his Peruana wife. He sounded a lot like he did 6 years ago, same voice, etc. Later, Mark. Monday, February 8th, email from Libsib.
Hi, Bill. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to take Mom out to dinner. What do you think about having her come to town? Maybe you could even pick her up on your way, if it's on your way. I have plans the 14th. I'm working 7 a 4 p, and then I'm going out to dinner with Joanna. Joe, any chance you'll be in town? By the way, Joanna got a job. She starts today, working with kids in foster care, similar to what Rosemary did. See you this weekend. Lou.
Monday, February 8th, email from Libsib.
Good to hear from the old clan. Hey, by the way, what is Koken's email address in Peru, or anyone's address who will be in Peru? I may need to contact the Cathedral of Lima if the church here can't find my baptism certificate. I won't be in until late today in the lab, so lunch is off. We'll certainly do the gym tomorrow. Let's say 4:30 to 5 p.m. Let me know. Thanks. Lou.
Monday, February 8th, email to Libsib. Look, it would be a good idea to email him. He's the only one with email down there. Goki's email. Let's do the gym tomorrow. Mark. Monday, February 8th, email to Joe. Subject, Fidelity. Mano, I'm going to check Fidelity and try to make a habit of following funds such as Equity Income 2 on the net. But in the meantime, let me know when might be a good time to buy. I went out with Kate to a comedy club on Friday night. It was decent. This main comedian picked on us a little since we were sitting close. Also, these 4 high school football coaches who sat right next to the stage. Well, talk to you. Did Gokin call you last night? Mark. Monday, February 8th, email from Bill.
Hey guys, going to pick up Mom is far out of my way, and would mean 7 hours of driving just after getting off at 6 a.m. Mom was under the impression that we'd go on the 20th to take her out locally, not have her drive to town 90 minutes away. I had thus decided to go to town 2 weekends in a row. If you want to do it all this weekend in town, let me know, but that would be my second option. Bill.
Monday, February 8th, email from Joe.
Yo, Lou, I can't meet up with you guys this weekend. I'm on call on Sat. I'll probably wait to go to town until I'm done with this rotation, end of February. Mano, did you tape SNL on Sat? Was it good? Keep it on that tape if so. Did you guys see /here about USA 3, Germany 0? We kicked some major butt. How was that comedy club with that dude picking on you guys, like the usual couple jokes from Pryor or Murphy? I called Lima this weekend. They are sort of alright. Tata has Parkinson's. They said they will come in May, but they do not want to be a burden. I told them that wouldn't be a problem. Later. Joe.
Monday, February 8th, email to Joe. Duke, I did not set VCR home since I was going to watch it, tape it at Mom's. But then Kulo was watching a movie and Mom didn't know how to set the timer. Long story short is, I got a few skits. Oh well, gotta go home. Cool that you called Tata. I'm sure he wanted to hear from us. Mark. Handwritten journal entry. Sunday, February 14th, V-Day. Back to Monday, February 8th, 1999. Melissa called me at work saying she's going home. She's not allowed to return to the blank apartment because she owes $550. She could be arrested if she goes there. She called home on Wednesday, February 10th, and Saturday around 12 p.m. She said she's interviewing for a live-in nanny job, which might take care of her living place for a while and pays $400 to $500 per week. On Thursday, February 11th, Kate came over at 6:50 or 8:50 p.m. We went to see She's All That at Blank Cinemas. Her car, Cavalier 85, was stalling. I offered some advice in a good, non-paternalistic way and offered to give it a try when she kept stalling on blank. She said no and eventually got it running. She picked the movie, so I only took $8. At the theater, I said I have no money, if she could cover it. She said she only had $10, then asked if there was a Mac machine. I checked and pulled out $8, used her 10 and paid 6, gave her the 50-cent change. I said I usually charge everything. I asked the ticket guy if they take credit card, said no. It was 11:30 by the time the movie ended, and I worked the next day. So she asked if I wanted to go to Denny's or something. I said no, I had to work. I invited her inside for coffee, but she said she was okay. I left and said I had a good time. No mushy anything, no kiss either. I waved bye though. Then she drove home. Tuesday, February 9th, 1999. Email from Libsib.
Subject, taxes 1998. Boys, this year, 98, interest paid on student loans is tax deductible. For the first time, as long as you are within the first 60 months of repayment, my loans are between 7 to 11 years old, but I only started repayments in 1994 to 97, so they should qualify. You should be getting a statement from the lenders about how much interest you paid in 1998. I'll know more when I speak to my CPA, probably this weekend. Also, I need to know from Dad if he wants, blank, to do his taxes again this year, and if so, when would be good to meet? Some Saturday in February or early March. Let me know, Mark. Lou.
Tuesday, February 9th, email to Sibs and Libsib. Lou, Dad asked me about your tax guy yesterday. He's interested in hiring him again. You should coordinate with Dad to set up a meeting. If he calls, I'll let him know that Saturdays work well. Marco. And then a minute later, Lou, 4:30 is good for the gym. Tuesday, February 9th, email from Libsib.
Subject, taxes 1998. Yes, thanks. Ask Dad which Saturdays in February and March are good for him, then I'll call, blank, and set it up. Like last year, we'll meet him at my house. Lou.
February 11th. Looks like I was getting a new email account with excite.com. Friday, February 12th, email from Joe.
Mano, what's up? Can you tape SNL this weekend on that Kodak tape? Decent. He'll dub it to my tape later. So B is going to town this weekend. What are you guys going to be up to? I guess Chaz will open a stock account. Market is still kind of high to throw in new money. I was playing Resident Evil 2 last night. Blank has a PlayStation. And we finished the first CD out of 2. It is decent, but TE and vicious. Blank just bought his PlayStation as well. So did you see the soccer game? Joe.
Handwritten journal entry, February 13th. On Saturday afternoon, I called her and said we should do something this weekend. We had talked about it a week before. Her high school friends from blank were getting there. They went to a club on Saturday night. She doesn't remember where on Friday, quote unquote. She told me on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, I called her around 3:11. Didn't leave a message. I called her at 4:17 p.m. Housemate said she's not in. I said I'd call back. Kate called back at 4:38. We talked about going to a coffee house. She wouldn't do Starbucks or Borders, wants a small mom and pop place. She disagreed with me about there being too much smoke at blank. Hint, don't be difficult when it comes to places to go to. On the other hand, beware of total duds. I said I'd see if a place was open around here. I'd call back. I only found one place, quote, blank coffee house, and blank open till 9. I called her back. I offered that choice or another place with Peruvian coffee beans, ground fresh, my place. She sort of skipped away from that choice and at the end said she's stressed, quote unquote, being a bitch, and might not be in a fun mood, so she bailed out. I said, you gotta do what you gotta do. But before I said, it's Valentine's Day, we might feel bad to sit around alone. We could meet up for just an hour or so. She had asked, are you angry with me? Which I didn't hear well, so I said, what's that? She did not repeat, so I asked again. Then she repeated her question. I said no. She said we can do it next week. I said fine, and good luck with the exam tomorrow. Sunday, February 14th, email from Claudia. A forward. Posing as humor, some misandrist propaganda. Planner, week of February 15th. Monday, parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4, played Commandos 4 to 8:45, mission 10. Tuesday, February 16th, parked on the street, worked 9 to 5. The DAT book was due at the library. Workout at the gym was crowded, I went alone. Called Kate, left a message. Wednesday, February 17th, parked on the street, worked 9 to 4. Blood test. Played Commandos, mission 11, 12 to 2. Thursday, February 18th, parked on the street, worked 8:45 to 4:15. Signed up for Fidelity email messages. Sent 7K check to cash reserves. Did a workout. Friday, February 19th, 1999, parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. The transfer of 7K to checking. CD at the library. Dinner at blank with Kate. Pool and bowling party until 3 a.m. Saturday, February 20th, Mom's birthday. I slept till 6:30, went to Rosemary's for cake at 9. Monday, February 15th, email to siblings, subject weekend. Hola muchachos, is the plan to take Mom out to Spanish restaurant Saturday Eve? Bill, when are you coming down? I might have a guest Saturday and Sunday. This friend of mine is applying for a job in town, and I'll offer her a place to stay Saturday and Sunday night. Otherwise, she'd have to go to a hotel. Joe, you know her, it's Melissa. So if this is an inconvenience, let me know, Bill. Although space is not a problem. Later, Mark. Monday, February 15th, email to Joe, subject garage key. Mano, I called Jackie yesterday and she said whenever she used the key, she'd put it back, the key for the garage door. I'll look for it, but now I'm wondering if that key is the same one I have in my keychain. Do you remember when it got lost? Because if it disappeared right before Jackie left, it makes no sense that I took it, because you didn't have a copy either. And since you would need to get in, we would have left it there. Know what I'm saying? Alright. About Barrymore, I'm being a good Samaritan. Hoy por ti, mañana por mí. Don't worry, we're just friends, Mark. Monday, February 15th, email from Joe.
Subject, read garage key. Mano, about the key. I think I found it in one of my pants here. So don't worry about that. Mano, as far as Barrymore staying at the house, I think it's not that great of an idea for the following reasons. It's Dad's place. B is coming over. She has never been there before. So if she turns psycho, which she definitely has the history for, she wouldn't know where you live, trust me. I've seen how a lot of these young chicks turn into psychos these past 2 weeks in psychiatry. She can stay at freaking Skank's place, or some other whore she knows. Dad, I.S. probably going to be there. Dude, I think it's a bad idea. Get out of it. Say it's not your place, and a lot of relatives will be other. She is just trying to use that as an excuse to get there. Again, please don't do it. Ask other people, or let me know what you think. Just my 2 cents. I hope I was loud and clear. My message got cut, I guess. As far as BMG, I guess just order soda. What did you guys do with B? Thanks. Joe.
Monday, February 15th, email to Joe. Mano, thanks for replying. I was wondering if Barrymore was a good idea. Gotta go with the gut feeling. Good Samaritan may be blinded, so we have to be pack hunters sometimes. I agree. I'll tell her that we have a full house with relatives. We'll do with the rest too, sir. Been playing commandos. Good deal, Mark. Monday, February 15th. Email from Bill.
Subject, read, weekend. Hey muchachos. I don't know when, etc. I'll be there, if at all. Chamba de Viernes. Lot of stuff to work on. The earliest would be Sat, just like this past one. Mark, I don't care about your friend. Run it by Dad though. Luigi, there's a dub tape of stuff I got from this weekend I left for Dad. But check it out. It's really cute. Oh, I don't know why this didn't smack me in the face earlier, but last night I got to thinking. Huh? Joy's mom? Man, I'm barely going to make the 600-mile trip to spend a little time with my own mom, but you may be imposing her on more people than myself. I'd love to meet her, maybe not at Mom's first birthday dinner we may all make in 21 years. Bill.
Thursday, February 18th. Email from Bill. He says he cannot make it to town, then some investment, etc., etc. Tuesday, February 16th. Email from Libsib.
Subject, weekend. I thought the plan was to go to steakhouse, but I'm sensing some dissatisfaction with that choice among the masses, so if you want to change it, that's okay with me. Mark, I'm working at blank this evening, 3 to 11, so no gym today. Lou. Oh, one more thing, Spanish restaurant does not take reservations, maybe they do for large parties. I'm not sure, so that's a disadvantage. Lou.
Tuesday, February 16th. Email to siblings. Dear Masses, Music for the Masses, which is an album by Depeche Mode. I think the objection to steakhouse was monetary. Rosemary knows Mom likes paella, so a great choice would be the Spanish restaurant. But then again, these plans are not written in stone, so we might end up going to Mickey D's. Just kidding. Also, Dad said it was up to me to have my friend over. I decided not to have her over because I'm having relatives visiting. Plus, I don't want her to get the wrong idea. Being 23 in the 90s. Mark. Tuesday, February 16th. Email to Joe. Subject, Sam's Club. Duke, I was going to ask about the passes, but I remembered that They're in the calendar on the side of the fridge. Do you want a calling card? All right, so you got the garage key. Well, at least that's okay because we did not lose it. What else? When are you coming to town? Later, Mark. Tuesday, February 16th. Email from Joe.
Subject, Sam's Club. Mano, I don't need a calling card. You should buy two. One for you and one for Dad. They don't expire and are 10 cents a minute. $16 for 160 minutes. Make sure you get that one. I'm going to town at end of February for my next rotation. Good decision to call off the weekend at Barrymore's. Good stuff. Good interview. Good interview. Joe.
Tuesday, February 16th, 1999. Handwritten journal entry, 10:30 p.m. I left a message at Kate's. Hi Kate, it's Mark. It's Tuesday, 10:30. Give me a call or if you get in before 11:30. Otherwise, I'll talk to you some other time. Let's see at what time she calls. Historically, she has called about a half hour after I leave messages. I planned to ask if she's going out with her friends this weekend. We could meet up. That way I get to hang with her and friends. February 17th. Well, she did not call last night. She did this afternoon, though. Hi, Mark, this is Kate. You got a freaky message, kind of whack. I was calling. I caught your message last night. I wasn't in, but I'm not going to be in tonight either. Stupid studying. But I was wondering if you don't have any plans on Friday. If you want to go to a party, I'm asking you to be my date. I guess I'll call you later on. I don't know when I'm going to be in. Okay, I'll talk to you then. Bye. The answering machine message was Hadaway. Roxbury answering message. At Dad's house, Joe had set the cassette answering machine greeting to Hadaway's What is Love music, as he said in an overtly satirical way. Hey, what's going on? You want to talk with me? Him? Me? Well, unfortunately, we're not in. But leave a message and we'll call you back. Talk to you then. Wednesday, February 17th, 1999. Email from Libsyn.
Subject, Amazon. Thanks. What did you order? By the way, kids, dinner plans for Sat have changed. It's now at Spanish restaurant at 6 p.m. Lou.
February 17th. Research work information. I was testing the proliferation in response to varying doses of IL-3, second experiment, using certain cells, clones from a Roop, the Roopster. Used 20 million cells, 4 doses of IL-3. Fixed at day 3. Conclusions. Thursday, February 18th. Email to Joe. Subject, mail/party. Oye, sent you a thing asking if you'll attend a meeting. Blank sent you a thing. If you're selected, you'll receive a gift for your time, probably a roll of toilet paper. I might go to a party Friday night. Kate left a message, asking if I'd be her date. We'll see how it goes, biatch. Hope the chicks are fine. Later, Mark. Thursday, February 18th. Email to siblings. Subject, fidelity. Muchachos, I'm going to be following my mutual funds more closely, so I'm going to make graphs of the shares' prices over time. I looked for such graphs at Fidelity's site, but no luck. Is there any site that might have this info already? Otherwise, I'll enter in an Excel table every day and create graphs. I think this will be useful in knowing when to buy and sell. Maybe I'll check out Lou's site and Schwab. I'll let you know of my findings. Mark. Thursday, February 18th. Email to Joe. Duke, hey, can you do me a favor? Email me the share prices for this fund, Equity Income 2, like how it's been doing as far back as you can go. What I'm going to do is follow some funds from now on, but instead of writing on a note card like you, I will save in a private Pico file in my Unix account. I still don't know whether Fidelity has this performance data in their mega site. I checked out the stats on EI2, but there's no table like this. I'm also studying for the MCAT Orgo Kaplan for DAT, same concepts. For this, I am using note cards. Chilling but willing, later. Thursday, February 18th. Email from Joe.
Subject, Equity Income 2. Mano, I only have on me, up to May 27th, 98 info on EQ and income's price. I can give you some of the major fluctuations, such and such dates and prices, as far as that AMSA mail. Don't worry about it. So did sorority chick invite you to a sorority dance? Like a formal party? Or just a party? Decent. Thanks goodness. You want to bear moreover. Psychiatry rules. Joe.
Thursday, February 18th. Email from Koki.
Subject. Finally. Everything is okay. Even made the reservations and I'm waiting for the tickets and the confirmation from American Airlines. Eres my itinerary. Asterisco y ella arrive on March 27, Saturday. Asterisco y ella leave on April 3, Saturday. Of course, I will confirm this when ella receive the tickets. Take care and greetings for everybody. Koki. PD, is there any problem with the dates? Let me know as soon as possible to try to change them. I don't know if I can.
Thursday, February 18th. Email to siblings. Forwarded Koki's email to them. Friday, February 19th. Email to Joe. Subject, what a jip. I called Kate yesterday and she said the party is really a no-alcohol bowling get-together. Dang. This computer's slow, so I may cut short. Happens to me at midnight at a faraway town. Later, Mark. Friday, February 19th. Email from Joe.
Subject. Read what a jip. Well, you can still go and check it out. Meet the other chicks and see if any would be available for me. Smiley face. Decent. Anything else going on? I've been going out with Slider lately. He is actually not that bad. I got to catch up on studying though. Joe.
Sunday, February 21st. Email from Bill.
Hey guys. Sorry I couldn't make it to town this weekend, but I'm doing some lab work to prepare for our presentation. Hope this is all over with soon, March 1st. Well, keep plugging away. Bill.
Sunday, February 21st. Handwritten journal entry. The party was a night out with her whole sorority. Everyone was supposed to take dates, apparently. We, Kate and I, met at her place around 7, went to Blank for dinner. She saw me reach for wallet and said, "No, I got it. Don't be silly. I asked you out for a date." End quote. I gave the waitress the entertainment coupon to help out. She returned it saying, "Sorry, this isn't good for sandwiches. I had that." She gave her leftovers to a panhandler. Back to her place, we figured we'd shoot pool, so we did, from 10 to 11. That was fun. Back to her place, her roommates and dates were assembling. We went to Eaton Park. She asked if I could drive, then we'd return, and she'd drive to the bowling place. We had coffee and a cookie there, Eaton Park. Then I drove Kate. Danielle, blonde chick, was at bar when I met Kate, and Matt, drunk from a frat. Then the backseat passenger Danielle bitched about why we were driving to exchange cars. Quote, "Your tank is full. Why don't we just go?" End quote. Kate was silent. I said we planned for Kate to drive. Besides, it is on the way. Matt told her not to ask questions like that. Kate and I sucked at bonding. Oh well. Around 12:15 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. Kate drove us back, not Matt, who left with AJ, chick. Danielle was crying in the back seat because they made her look bad. She wouldn't talk much at all. We got back to Blank where Kate parked, and I drove her to the Blank. Danielle thanked me for the ride after I turned off the engine. Kate said blah blah and we'll talk sometime and left. I was angry that I didn't get to spend any time with her alone, but I was her date, so I couldn't do much. Saturday, February 20th, I got home around 4 a.m. I missed Mom's dinner at Blank 6 p.m. because I took a nap and got up at 6:30 p.m. I did meet up with them for cake at Rosemarie's at 9 p.m., then felt tired all weekend. Sunday, I called Kate in the evening. I didn't leave a message on machine. Called again before 7 p.m., same as before. I used star 67 so they don't get my number if they use star 69. Planner, week of Monday, February 22nd. There's a note up top that I wrote. Quote, "Truth like surgery hurts, but it cures." Monday, February 22nd, parked on the street, work 9 to 5. Note to get windshield fixed. Tuesday, February 23rd, parked on the street, worked 8:30 to 4:30. CDs were due at the library, check. Commandos, finished mission 13. David and Goliath. Diane from Penn State called for Joe. Did a workout at the gym. Wednesday, February 24th, parked in the street, worked 8:30 to 5. Emailed Joe about yesterday's phone message. Thursday, February 25th, parked in the garage, worked 9:45 to 4:15, got a $9 parking card and did a full workout. Friday, February 26th, parked on the street, worked 9 to 4. Commandos, finished mission 14. And note that the best so far were 10 and 14. Call blank about Smiths. Checked out 10 CDs from the library. February 27th, Saturday, Commandos 12 to 1. 3 weeks to DAT. Auto glass fixed chip on the Toyota. Monday, February 22nd, email from Koki.
Subject, ¿qué interpretación? Oye, chistoso. Un favor, parece que a Jackie no le expresé bien la idea en mi mensaje la vez pasada. Explícale a tu papá que lo que quise decir es que no quiero ser una carga, pero respecto a movilidad o cualquier otro detalle. Aunque suene un poco conchudo, jamás pensaría pagar un hotel teniéndolos a todos sus por allá. En fin, ya se la había aclarado a Jackie, pero parece que ya había corrido la voz. Y mi mamá me dijo que había hablado con tu papá y que le había hecho el comentario. Bueno, Marquino, debo empezar otra semana de trabajo. ¿Te parecen adecuados los días que estaría por allá? Muchos saludos para la pandilla. Koki.
Monday, February 22nd, email to BMG. Hi, BMG service person. I would like Soda Stereo, Ciao Soda, 2 CD. This would count as 2 free enrollment selections. Thank you for replying via email, which I find extremely convenient. Mark. Monday, February 22nd, email to myself. Subject, message sent to BMG. I would like to decline my featured selection via email instead of using regular mail. Please email me back ASAP if this is possible. Thank you. Monday, February 22nd, email from Bill.
Hola choclos. El otro día compré una grabadora de CDS, es pajita. Pienso devolverla en menos de 30 días, pero el concepto es interesante. Grabe un disco customized y alcanza como 18 a 20 canciones por CD. Quiero que todos la aprovechen al máximo mientras lo tenga, así que si quieren algo, me avisan o me vienen a visitar y traen CDS. Mande a comprar un montón en bulto, pues así sale más barato y sin impuestos. Estos CDS tienen que ser audio, es decir, tienen un formato un poquito diferente para que uno pague con el precio de los copyrights difundidos. Por eso, cuestan un poquito más que los que se consiguen para computadora sencilla. Me salen a 2 pesos con 40 centavos aprox/diagonal. Les cobro el costo no más por cada CD. Se puede grabar a 2x un disco si lo haces en su totalidad. Es un dual tray de Philips. Pueden verlo en Sears, pero siempre que llegan, se agotan como pan caliente. Por otro lado, cuando estuve en Town, dejé un Blue Hand Backpack en alguna parte, casa de Chome, el Passat Trunco en casa de Chaz, en algún sitio. Esto tiene mis medicamentos e instrumentos, que sería bueno tenerlos si me voy de viaje pronto, que será el sábado 6 de marzo. Tal vez alguien se aventure venir, o nos encontramos a mitad de camino para intercambiar discos o la máquina misma. Bill.
February 23rd, some notes I kept for investments. Tuesday, February 23rd, email from Libsib.
Hola Guillermo. I was thinking of getting one of those recordable CD players too, maybe in a couple of years when the price drops some. Joe, I tried to mail, regular mail, but the envelope was returned to sender. What is your correct mailing address? Mark, let's work out today at 4:30 or 5 p.m. Let me know. Luigi. Subject, gym at 4:30 p.m. Can we meet there at 4:30? Lou. Subject, gym at 4:30 p.m. Okay, 5 p.m. Lou.
Tuesday, February 23rd, email to siblings. Bill, if you want to expand your musical horizons, you can check out CDs of many genres at any library and dub what you like. I know there aren't enough hours in a day, but hey. Also, you did leave your med kits here. Could you not forget something every time you visit? Smiley face. Lou, let's work out. Maybe 4:30. How about I call you around 4? You can always leave me a voicemail at blank too. Boys with a Z. I found that Excite.com has history of funds with charts and everything. You may have to register, but that's no big deal. Tuesday, February 23rd. Email to Libsib. About gym at 4:30? I don't want to leave work too early, 4 p.m., but I'm not too busy today. We at the lab have a sort of unspoken understanding about schedules, you see. Can we make it at 5? Ciao. Wednesday, February 24th. Email to Joe. Subject, Dow Jones is my uncle. Duke, the Dow dropped like 200 points today, so Lou and I bought mutual funds. I transferred from cash reserves to blue chip growth, which are doing better than equity income too. We'll see. I still have money waiting to invest though. I'll diversify. Later, huevere, CF chévere. Let me know when you're arriving. Wednesday, February 24th, email from Daytech. Subject, thanks for Daytech, from Daytech Online. Dear Mark, thank you for submitting your preliminary account application. Your new account packet will arrive soon. To begin trading, send a minimum of $2,000 in cash or fully paid stock. My typical workout routine for printing and carrying in my wallet. Friday, February 26th, email from Joe.
What up? Wham! Don't forget to tape SNL on that Kodak tape this Friday. Don't tape over the other weeks. Decent thanks. I'll be in town, most likely Sunday. They'll call before and let you guys know. Later. Joe.
Friday, February 26th, handwritten journal entry. 5:40 p.m. I just called Kate. No answer. I didn't leave a message. Star 67. I was going to ask if she wants to do something except bowling tonight. Her message says, "Hi, you've reached Kate and Cheyenne's place," etc. Separate paragraph. Her name is, I think, Nicole. I saw her last Friday at library, where she works, 3 times a week. I engage in conversation today. Besides, I checked out 10 CDs. I'll wait until next week to ask anything. I talked about what great weather we had today, sunny day. She said it was cold though. I said she's lucky to have such a huge windows to enjoy the view, although it's just for 4 hours for Fridays. I said I'd get a view from the 10th floor at work. She asked, where's that? I said blank. They have to call it blank. 6:20 p.m. Called Kate, same thing. Used star 67. If she answered and I spoke with her, I would call her right back to tell her a PS without star 67 in case she uses star 69 to track down the last caller. Or she would know I'm using star 67. 7:20 p.m., same thing. Blank place. We're not in right now, so leave your name. 8:20 p.m., ditto. And number, and a brief message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Saturday, February 27th, 5 p.m., Melissa called sobbing from restaurant, saying she can't get her stuff. The landlord won't let her. Also that she and Melissa, roommate, are angry at each other, got into a fight. Later I found out that it's because each one thinks the other owes money. So I met her at 6 at coffee place. She had gotten in at 10 to 5 and said she might just go back home. She tried to call her mom, but the 888 number wasn't working for some reason. I almost dialed it myself. She gave me the number, but I didn't dial and gave it back to her. So I treated her to dinner at blank, all-you-can-eat buffet. Then we felt like having a couple of beers, so we went to blank. She bought some. Then went to gas station to call her mom and a Motel 6. I went home to set the VCR for SNL, 8:20 p.m. Met her at gas station, went to blank Motel 6, and later returned home. I had 4 beers, she had 2. We watched SNL. 2 messages. One, Jackie at 11:30. The other was a recording of Melissa, roommate, asking for me. Dad asked many times, who is this? She eventually said Melissa. Another call on Sunday, February 28th, 2:25 a.m. Dad answered, said hello. Is Mark there? Who is this? Melissa. No, he's not. Do you know where he is? Dad said no. She hung up. It was the roommate. Sunday, February 28th, 4 p.m. Roommate called. She thought Melissa was going home and wanted to give her her mail. But Melissa's mom thought she was going to stay over with me, according to roommate, which is why roommate was calling. I asked about yesterday's 2:30 a.m. call. She said they were having trouble. Melissa's mom spoke with landlords. Then the landlord called roommate at 2 a.m., etc. Roommate said she didn't want to tell me some things because it's about Melissa, and she might not want me to know. Interesting, in a stay away from me sort of way. That's about it. Until you see me again. Duliness saves the universe. Be well, everyone.
Another great TDE episode for the ages. I'm in awe of how hard you worked to build this life for your kids. You really fought for us, didn't you? You're the real deal, Dr. Dad Camp. Your dad never gave up on the truth, and neither should you. He did all of this so you would know what integrity looks like. Ada 10-4, we're clear until you see us on the next adventure.